Here we are.
Yay! We did it! We
Ah,
did it! Oh my goodness. Welcome everyone to Happy Holidays too. The news and updates. The holidays are here. This is our 217th and the last episode for 2022.
Posadas
Wow!
navideñas.
Happy Hanukkah!
May the winter solstice bring to you the promise of endless brand new days.
Merry Christmas.
Zaradus Diso to all you Zossitarians out there.
I'm
And
glad I didn't have to pronounce that.
Happy New Year!
Okay, we can all do that better. But anyway, we've been, it's what you get. We've been bringing you the news you need to know since, wow, 2018. Here we are at the end of another year. Oh my goodness. From around the Alt Space VR community and beyond as members of this community and of the metaverse.
Well, we do this as volunteers and community members, not AltSpace VR employees.
For over 4 years now, we've celebrated what virtual reality can be or do for all those willing to don a headset and venture into the metaverse. This year has been an exciting adventure as it seems like every day has had something new change everything.
You can always count on the metaverse to make a new friend.
Or give you a new idea for an event or new world to build.
Details that can eat up your whole day. I know.
Or bite you in the butt while you're trying to solve them. Seriously. God, it's I tell my students, it takes one little thing just ruin a whole good code.
Okay.
All right. Did we lose my audio?
Yeah, a little
Nope.
bit. Yeah, you maybe start that over.
All right. So I tell my students all the time. For years I said, it takes one little thing to just screw up your whole day. But anyway, every day here in All Space VR, something happens for better or worse, and it can change everything, and it can make everything worthwhile, can it?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
There is plenty of news to share with you, so let's get to it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, on to some AltSpace VR news. So AltSpace had its own red carpet event this past week, the premiere of a new documentary starring AltSpace VR.
Yay! Briar Prestige spent 48 hours alone with a film crew in a hotel room in Dubai. She couldn't do it from her own place. It had to be in a hotel room. Really? Okay. Willing to literally live, eat, sleep, and brush your teeth with a Quest 2 headset on for 48 hours.
Remember when Jack Wilmot did that in 2019? But he did it for a week, 7 24-hour days. We've been reporting on this madness since the beginning of news and updates, and every few months, somebody new takes it on. Like many of these adventures, a film crew was there to document the experience.
Briar started her mission of discovery in the AltSpace VR campfire this summer, learning the basics and meeting people. Discovering the magic of our community with their help, she explored a diverse range of worlds and apps, everything from VR therapy sessions for cancer patients to the desert installation art of the Burning Man Festival.
So congratulations to Briar for joining the many who've spent 24, 48 or more hours nonstop in VR. I'm one of them. And I can't tell you how many times I used to wander in the campfire and there'd be somebody there with snoring noises coming out of there. They just forgot to take it off. So welcome to the club. The funniest was when it was somebody who was in one of those old, what we used to call the sperm things, the ghost avatars. It kind of leaned sideways and was snoring. It was just hysterical. Anyway, snoring ghost. This should be a very fascinating documentary. So check it out. And it's soon to be on YouTube. So we'll all get a chance to see it. Mm-hmm.
That'll be really cool.
Yes,
Educators
definitely.
in VR is celebrating an early 8th anniversary of AltSpace VR on Tuesday. With their end of the year holiday party, they are working with others to honor 8 years of AltSpace VR with a compiled video featuring community members at being asked the important questions that we will be asking at the end of this event today. So be prepared for questions and
Mm-hmm.
answers.
And the question is, how has AltSpace and social VR changed your life?
Oh, Karen, what a wonderful question. We've talked about this for years indirectly, but what a great time for our community to share their experiences.
You know, you are so right. We've been here for days, weeks, months, and some of us for many years, quickly discovering the magic of this community. It is such a special place that changes lives.
It's changed my life. I can look around this room and I can see many others here whose lives have been changed by this community and platform. So hang on through the show, and we will ask you to share with us your thoughts on how AltSpace VR and social VR has changed your life. And join us Tuesday at the Educators in VR holiday celebration. What a gift! We really, really want to hear your stories.
And if you're a filmer, please let us know because we need more people to film the wonderful
Wonderful.
space.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Larry Magid, CEO of Connect Safety, spoke at this week's XR Reality Safety Initiative Metaverse Safety Week with industry experts here in Allspace. XRSI is a nonprofit founded in 2019 to promote privacy, safety, security, and ethics in immersive environments.
Larry shared his thoughts about presenting in VR and how powerful the experience was in AltSpace VR. After a few minutes, he says he forgot about the awkwardness of the headset and became lost in the conversation. He said he found himself looking at this person as she spoke, just as if they were in the same room. He found the experience deeper than if they were on Zoom. He couldn't figure out why, but he said it felt more compelling. And a few days ago, there were a few of us in a meeting in Discord, and I told my brother, I said, Rich, I kind of wish we were meeting in alt space instead because I feel like we're present there. We're all present there.
I hear that, Karen. That's the way I feel too. And you're face to face with an avatar. You forget they're an avatar. You feel the realness of them and their presence. And if you've ever just reached out and touched each other's hands right here as avatars, it's quite an experience.
Yes, it
We know it
is.
because we experience it every day, connecting with others in ways that go beyond the online conferencing screen. Don't we? Get it?
Hmm.
And we love when others do too. It's so exciting to see others make that connection.
Absolutely, Marcia. So Microsoft Teams announced the inclusion of the avatars formerly known as the AltSpace VR avatars, now known as Mesh avatars, which are added to Microsoft Teams as part of the integration of Microsoft Mesh and Teams. It is only available for corporate accounts as part of the paid Teams premium subscription.
I was meeting with Microsoft execs the other day, and one had their avatar enabled. It was fascinating to see and exciting. I felt like I forgot that I was like in this online conferencing thing. For a moment I thought I was in alt space. It was really weird.
I can imagine that. And I want to say here that that means that we're not going to look the same as we've always known each other for years. And it's got a bittersweet feeling to it. So anyway, Microsoft says that by spring 2023, the avatars will be available. Well, we're all excited about the potential for Microsoft Mesh and thrilled to see AltSpace VR features included. Can't wait to see where it goes. But I want to add,
Absolutely.
I'm going to
Yeah.
miss what we are and who we are now. Analytics Insight announced their top 10 list of augmented and VR companies to rule the future of the metaverse, and AltSpace VR and Microsoft are right at the top of the list, alongside, of course, Meta Horizons, Tencent, and Snapchat.
Mm-hmm.
When we think of shopping in AltSpace VR, we think of setting up shops so people can click links and buy from within a world or event, right? Well, Glam offers another perspective on shopping from within the metaverse.
The popular fashion magazine and site recommends organizing a virtual shopping party in AltSpace VR to talk and connect and discuss your shopping habits and recommendations. Meet in 2D. Meeting will be in 2D, makes it even easier as purchases happen outside of AltSpace VR through the web browsers, making a party out of a shopping making a party out of shopping. Simple,
Yeah.
easy, and fun.
Might have a good time.
Does that mean we have to bring our pocketbooks and purses and wallets and stuff?
MRE. Talk to Dargan about doing an MRE for all of that.
So, congratulations to Inky VR and her corral of 25 Altspacers who created a special Happy New Year musical YouTube greeting from Metavale Park and Altspace VR. We've shared the link in our news and updates Discord to put you in the Altspace VR holiday spirit.
Oh, it's so much fun. Now, a little change of subject. Do you realize it has been 50 years since the last human walked on the moon?
Wow.
Oh, golly. Hard to believe. But 50 years ago, December 11th, 1972, Eugene Cernan and Jack Schmidt walked on the moon, doing research, but also having fun. They sang songs while skipping along the moon's low gravity, proof that even when you're doing the impossible, you have to have fun with it.
Isn't that true? My idea of a good time. One of the most common things people build when they start building worlds in Altspace VR is the moon, Mars, or other alien planets, right? I think Dargon's first world was his awesome moon. It's amazing. It's amazing that it's been 50 years since we walked on the moon. We need to get back there now.
Oh, seriously, like yesterday. Yeah, the next manned mission is planned for May 2024. Not soon enough, as the scheduled date for the arrival of the crewed Artemis 4 lunar landing. This week, the test capsule landed safely back on Earth, watched by many during a watch party here in Altspace VR. And if you haven't seen it yet, this just came in. There's a Dell Computers is building a computer that can be dismantled and easily repaired, and check it out for going to the moon, because they're going to have to fix it. They can't call for parts, man. They can't go down to Best Buy and go, "Can you fix this?" So it's really, I think it's going to be the future of laptops in general. But anyway, check it out. Okay, but anyway, we are a step closer to the reality of returning to the moon, and I cannot wait. In the interim, we just play with it in VR.
Well, this year, the online and famous dictionaries have announced their words of the year. Merriam Webster announced it as gaslighting.
Collins Dictionary declared permacrisis as their word of the year, and Oxford Languages went with goblin mode, a description of a type of behavior which is unapologetically self-indulgent, lazy, slovenly, or greedy that rejects social norms.
How? I know a few people who resemble that.
Now you're all thinking about who it is. Okay. However, we have, my husband even asked, he saw that word and he what's goblin mode? And I just said, leave it alone. I said, you're not one. Okay. We have to admit that we three up here, we're prejudiced, appropriately so. We love dictionary.com's word of the year is woman. Absolutely love that. Yeah.
So the dictionary said that the decision reflects how the interaction of gender, identity, and language dominate the current cultural conversation, and they couldn't be more right. We're seeing this so clearly in the growing resistance in Iran and the United States.
We've been so honored here in Altspace VR to host women's groups here, including Women IT Pros, Women XR, Women Pioneers, XR Pioneers. So many groups that are empowering women through social networking, and we're learning from each other. It's beautiful.
It is beautiful. I mean, just look at us three girls right up here. We're
Oh,
running
yay!
a show, right?
Team, team, we got team here. Yeah.
So let's hear it for all the women in women's rights and the challenges we face internationally. We joyously agree with dictionary.com when they say the word woman is not the last word on what defines a woman. The world belongs to each and every woman, however they define themselves.
Amen.
Okay.
Now, on to some interesting fun stuff. Fun stuff you enjoy.
I thought all of this was fun stuff, Marcia.
It sounds like it. We're certainly having fun up here doing it.
Absolutely.
It's certainly not we are women, hear us bore you. No, it's roar.
Well, that's one thing we're not as boring.
No, we're not boring. All right.
Might be a bit crazy, but okay. So we have come to take online shopping and restaurant orders delivered to our doors for granted, especially during the pandemic, right? We all have. We would rather spend more time in VR than shopping. That's me. I hate shopping.
Oh, amen.
I do too. I do too.
Ugh.
With everything arriving at our doorstep, we've been frustrated with the increase in theft as well. People stealing packages right off our stoop. This has led to an increase in security cams to catch up with those perpetrators.
Now, in Florida, a man ordered a chicken meal, fast food delivery, and was stunned to find it gone, missing off his doorstep. He was even more shocked to discover who stole his chicken burger and fries. It was a black bear. Hey,
Wow.
very full-tummied black bear.
Well, Laurel, you never know who or what might show up on your doorstep these days, right?
Not- and a black bear in Florida was like, whoa. Not something you expect with. I'm not going to say it. That's politically incorrect. Anyway, it's just amazing. Anyway, what? I thought the bear was hysterical. Anyway, knock knock. Who's there? Oh,
Bear.
dinner. Okay, so one of the best pieces of news to come through our news and updates reporters' hands this week. This is so exciting. News of a 90-year-old woman receiving her college degree at Northern Illinois University.
Oh, that is so wonderful.
Well, that is wonderful. She does not look 90. That's
Mm-mm.
amazing. So her name is Joyce Defoe of Geneseo, Illinois, and she's the oldest person to graduate from the university. She enrolled in what was known as Northern Illinois State Teachers College in 1951 and attended for 3.5 years before dropping out to get married and start a family.
Familiar story.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is very familiar. In 2019, she returned to school online and completed her Bachelor's of General Studies degree and was honored this past Sunday at the graduation ceremony.
Congratulations to Joyce, and what an inspiration. When we say you're never too old to learn, she is proof of that.
That's
As
for
are many
sure.
in this studio too. We're walking proof. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just not going to admit how close we are, but we're walking proof. Age is a state of mind. Okay.
Oh, boy.
All right, we got now some world building news. Sorry, I was laughing too hard. Trying not to laugh too hard about that.
Okay, as we are moving into 2023, Unity 2022.2 was announced this week, a version not yet supported by AltSpace VR. but it comes with some sweet new updates and features, including updates to the Splines package. Splines allows you to draw and use spline paths to build out rivers, roads, camera tracks, and other path related features and tools. Also, Blender 3.4 was released this week and it is an amazing update.
This week, Epic Games announced that it was working on a programming language to support the metaverse in general. The open source functional logic language is to be called Verse.
They're offering it to help develop an open economy with, quote, no corporate overlords for a safer metaverse that allows programmers, artists, and designers to support social interaction in a shared real time 3D simulation.
The goal is to have everyone's code and content running smoothly and be inoperable. Interoperable. Oh my goodness. The loss of a continent. A continent. Oh my goodness. I'm losing all my words here. Blooper reel, Mark. Oh my God.
Blooper
Okay.
reel.
Content running smoothly and be interoperable, creating a universal and stable metaverse infrastructure. And we're going to be keeping an eye on this. And we're going to be now shutting up and fixing our mouth. Get the screwdrivers out, honey.
Okay, so we've been covering a lot of intelligence breakthroughs lately. And here is another one. Script writing AI is here for world building.
Scripts like in movies?
Well, AI still doesn't do a great job with those. No, procedural scripts like what are used in Blender to create just about anything in 3D.
Like writing a recipe for cooking?
Yeah, kind of. And that's one way of explaining it, I guess. Still, you have to know what ingredients you want.
I wouldn't want to trust AI with how something would taste in the end.
Well, helping the AI know the ingredients and what you are trying to accomplish, the possibilities are endless and not just for cooking, but helpful also for world building. I predict that someday you'll be able to ask an AI bot to learn what you need to know to accomplish anything you want to do with nearly any software program.
And then they will teach it to you.
Tailored to how you best can learn it. So, who programs AI to do all these things? Laurel?
Maybe it can be you. A leading company in the field is hiring. Stability AI is looking for talented people as researchers, developers, and designers, as well as staff for operations and finance and so on. You could be the next person helping us to design our
Ooh.
worlds and do all these
Ooh.
cool scripts.
Love it.
Go for
Last
it, Dargon.
Go for it. Go for it, Nico.
There's a whole bunch of it would be perfect for
That's
that.
true.
Yeah. Last week, the World Builders team exploring amazing holiday worlds representing festivals and traditions associated with the holidays. The tour continues next week, observing all types of holiday festivities.
Mhm.
If you haven't done so yet, check out Dargon's amazing Christmas tree decoration world in MRE and help decorate the tree. It's really a magical experience. Check the calendar as he is running this event through the end of the year.
That's right. By the way, I think his next one is tomorrow, 1 o'clock Pacific time.
Mhm.
As a reminder for you gamers in the metaverse, the next Steam big sale is the winter sale, and it begins December 22nd. It's a week away, so get your list ready.
Yeah, I've got mine. I'm so cheap. I just wait for the sales. I'm just really. It's like people go, "Oh, well, what temptation?" You're just. It's just. And I'm like, "No, just cheap." A study by Uswitch found that of all the countries in the world that are ready for the metaverse, the Netherlands tops the chart.
As we know, the metaverse isn't about a place, but it is a digital reality experience based upon computer generated environments and interactables that support multiple users. This cannot happen without affordable internet access and bandwidth, right?
Exactly. Laurel knows a few things about that. The
Ah.
Netherlands has the highest average fixed broadband speeds of about 106 megabits per second and supports a very digitally conscious and economically friendly population and economy.
Now, behind the Netherlands, might surprise you, are Switzerland, Lithuania, Malta, and France, all demonstrating solid support for internet access and for the emerging Web3 space and metaverse. Unfortunately, rest of the world is still struggling to catch up, but things are improving slowly.
Mm.
Uh-huh.
I
Well,
resemble that.
Microsoft announced this week news that we knew was coming, impacting many of us. Microsoft has banned cryptocurrency mining on its iCloud services.
They've quietly banned crypto from their online services to improve protection, security, and privacy, and now require users to obtain a written pre approval from the firm in order to use Microsoft Azure for mining cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin.
Microsoft is not the only one. After the collapse of FTX, investors, auditors, and cloud services are dropping support for crypto across the web due to the increase of fraud, cyber attacks, and hacks.
Mm. Now, with news of the North American mega grocery stores, Kroger and Albertsons merging, it shouldn't be a surprise that Albertson wants to thrive in the metaverse.
So, Albertsons started allowing purchases on Cyber Monday in the metaverse to customers, the first grocery store in the US to do so. They're setting up a pilot experience in Decentraland. Soon, we will all be shopping for fruit, veggies, and beer in the metaverse for fast delivery to our doorstep. How cool is
Just
that?
watch out for bears. Watch out for bears.
Well, yes, there is that.
You know, I'm worried about that because there's coyotes where I live, and I have an Albertsons
me
right up
too.
the street.
I could just
Ooh, these
I could just see
tomatoes
the
are good.
I could just see the practical jokers bringing bears into the metaverse to steal
Oh,
our virtual
yes.
groceries.
Oh, no. Don't get
Bear with
started.
us here. Bear with us.
Oh, I'm out of here. Okay.
Oh, that was great. All right, I
Oh,
think
God.
it's time, girls, to move on to some different type of news
Are we
here. So
sure?
how about-
Are you asking the audience to bear with us? I don't know.
Yes.
I think we're barely there. Okay, I'm stopping.
Oh, this is just
Down
so
to bare
funny.
bones. Down to bare bones, girls.
Mm-hmm. Oh, God.
Oh.
Okay.
All right. May I move on?
Barely.
Bear-
I just found that Mark's going to come in.
I can't bear this anymore.
I know he's going to come smack us. All right. Hurry, Karen. Get
Okay.
started.
All right. On to some AltSpace events. Okay. So, as we mentioned earlier, AltSpace VR is filling up with so many holiday events. We'd have to do a 2-hour show to cover them. But don't worry. Don't forget, Tuesday, Educators in VR is doing a special holiday celebration of AltSpace VR in honor. This is going to be really cool, you guys. And it will be in honor of its upcoming 8th anniversary by putting together a collection of interviews answering the question, how has AltSpace VR and social VR changed your life?
Mm.
We are going to be asking you that question right here in a few minutes. What fun project and great way to celebrate our amazing community. Come join us on Tuesday. Come on.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right. Cathead Vodka presents Swamp Souls Giants Red and the Revelers live from Dueling Hall in Jackson, Mississippi with special guest Johnny Hayes, one of the most exciting live bands on the Gulf Coast. And they'll be highlighted right here in AltSpace VR just about an hour or so after the show. Check it out.
Woo! Evolve VR and Trip are hosting the storytelling of the Jabberwocky by Lewis Carroll tomorrow, along with the explanation of Humpty Dumpty. What a treat for the holidays.
Oh, I love the Jabberwocky. It's a best tongue twister around. One of the oldest Christian
Yeah.
traditions is
Except for you.
Advent. Yeah, counting down, so to speak, of the Advent is the counting down, so to speak, of the events that led to the birth of Jesus. Now, this is the fourth year that Live Love is hosting their 25 days of Advent celebrations every night through December, leading up to Christmas Day, right here in Altspace VR.
When we think about the many years that some event hosts have been bringing us fascinating discussions and laughter, we can't help paying honor to Improv Night with Stevie and Sosheki. Since 2017, they have filled our hearts with silly skits, plots, baggage, and acts of comedy criminality. Don't miss their mature audiences only event on Monday to laugh your way through the holidays.
We need that.
Yes.
Simulation Nation is hosting their final World Builder event for the year, featuring Altspace VR World Builders. This week, they are talking to Lightyear in his amazing diverse worlds. Check it out on Wednesday.
Wow. There are so many events that are coming up and they just keep on coming. So this is our last show of the year. Mark decided to give us all a break next weekend and the next to recover from this year and prepare for the next. So we actually get a
Does that mean we
mini
get a paid vacation?
Mark,
Mark?
that's a good question. I think that he's going to give us a raise. 0 plus 0 equals 0. So I think
0, okay.
yeah, it's a math problem there, So
Well,
thank you, Mark, for giving us a little break to kind of recover and prepare.
yeah. Well, we have some great events coming up when we return in January too. So get ready for those.
Mm-hmm. Oh, are you all ready?
Uh-oh. I hear the
Here
drum
we
roll.
go. It's time for our discussion where you get a chance to have your say, share your news, your thoughts and opinions, and let us know what you're doing here in our Altspace community.
As mentioned in the show, we are all working on the 8th anniversary of Altspace VR to create a video montage by Altspace VR community members on how their lives have been changed by this platform and social VR.
You know, as I look around this room, I can point out the people here who have changed my life, literally. And I can also point out those whose lives were changed as I watched. We've all been changed by our involvement here in Altspace VR, and we've changed this platform as well.
Amen. Hit the raise hand button and Mark will turn. When we call on you, Mark will turn and film your
Well
answer.
said, Karen.
Yeah, to our question. And the question is, how has Altspace VR and social VR changed your life? We so want to hear from you. All right,
Lan-
Karen, who's first
Lan-
up?
Our Lance is up. Lance, you
Oh,
All
have
right,
the phone.
first hand.
I'm always
directly
the first
behind you,
one.
Mark.
All right, so Altspace VR, is the one app that actually has a special place in my heart, because a lot of people, well, some may know, others may be like, "What?" But I do have agoraphobia. I do freak out. It's something I want to work on, and I've improved a lot since I've came to Altspace VR. First app I've been in was VR chat, but I didn't have a footing until I came into Altspace. Obviously, the story I always say is when I first came in, a community helper came up to say hi. I screamed, ran, and disappeared because I freaked out because someone was trying to talk to me. Now I'm the one who's usually now saying hi to everyone. Took 3 years, but I'm happy that Altspace has, at least VR wise, helped me push out of my agoraphobia and unsociableness. And now I have loads of friends, and there's a lot of people like Karen that I can't stop hanging out with, and a lot of people has helped and changed my life and stuff, and I'm really happy for Altspace and stuff. So
You're
Wow.
an incredible person
Wow. That was very beautiful and very well said, Lance. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, up next
I
is
can,
Steph.
I'm gonna start crying. I just know
I
this.
know,
This is
me
gonna-
too. I
too.
know. I
No,
know.
no, no, no. Be brave. How has Altspace changed my life? My first experience had been nearly my last the year before, but a campfire became a little too friendly and overwhelming. But as the pandemic rolled on, COVID made me both an orphan and the matriarch of distant family, and grieving and psychologically, well, physically alone in lockdown those first few months, except for my beloved parrot Toby here, who is, well, I thought he was asleep. But at any rate, 2020 being too quiet is an understatement. So my only escape became virtual, but in search of a respite, I found a refuge. I gave Altspace a second chance and found myself in one of Laurel's creative writing meetups. Not only did I find the good company of new friends, but a new skill that I'd never guessed I could call my own, let alone put to good use. Literally, fiction. So I'll take this opportunity to thank both the powers that be for Altspace and thank you, Laurel.
Thank you.
We love you, Steph.
Yeah, she said
Yeah. Thank you, Steph, for sharing that with us. That was also very, very nice.
it. Yeah.
Okay. Up next
Beautiful.
is Coach Tur. Coach Tur, you have megaphone.
Turbo.
Turbo.
Hello, everybody. Yes, Altspace, how in VR, how's it changed my life? Well, before the COVID lockdown, I had taken a chance to start my own personal development coaching business, and it was starting to thrive until the lockdown. Well, when the COVID lockdown hit, I felt that, my dream and purpose was pretty much a done deal. But then I discovered VR, discovered Altspace, and just through the chance meeting with a few friends, I began to discover the potential of it. And now my coaching business has been reborn and is thriving at a much higher level. I'm reaching people that I probably would have never ever thought I could have reached. And then I had the wonderful opportunity of joining Educators in VR, which has just really opened my eyes to the potential of what VR can be. And I'm just excited about the future, and I feel energized as a result of being a part of this environment. So I see the future as being bright, and I just want to grow with it.
Mm,
Beautifully
wow.
said.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I
Very,
told you
very
this was gonna
beautiful.
make me cry.
Oh, I know. Wow.
I've seen some
Oh.
of his convention worlds, and they're just magnificent. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. But
Thank
the
you
work
for
you're doing
sharing
is
that with
beautiful.
us.
Thanks,
Okay,
Turbo.
Paul, you're up next.
Hey, Paul.
Oh, that was a mistake.
Oh,
Well, tell us.
okay.
Don't you have a story for us
Oh, sure.
about how this has
Well,
changed,
tell
how
us.
Altspace and social VR has changed your life?
Well, I've been on Allspace for years, since maybe 2019 or 2018. So it's been a while since the robots. That was fun. I've met artists. I made friends with many people. I've gotten even to travel to California a few times. Build a few worlds. I'm building one right now. As a cigar and brandy, like a bar space, as a social space, and through VR, I've met people who's at the beginning of code, who's gone through COVID and at the hospitals and how they were treated. Others who were struggling when they first had the COVID, and how they made it through. So yeah, so through the COVID, even where people were at home, I got through the COVID through Altspace and meeting friends, and that's how we all socialized. We couldn't go
Awesome.
out; we were stuck at home, so we had our headsets, and through that, I traveled to see many countries and gone to concerts and seen movies, not by myself, but with Altspace friends that I've met in there.
Beautiful.
Paul, thank you for sharing that with us. That is truly beautiful.
It is. And I think that's how I feel too sometimes. It's the same kind of thing. I think we all do. Thank you, Paul.
Joanne, I think you have megaphone. I think a couple of us had turned it on at the same time. So,
Yeah, my screen was just flashing, flashing.
Not me.
So yeah, like me, Altspace changed my life. I was after COVID, my whole world changed, and I thought things were kind of looking at me. We have a 30-plus-year business that we didn't know what to do with, and I found Altspace and all of this, and it just has completely changed our whole business direction. We work with music and sound and digital art and graphics and video, and I found places to express my art. So I'm a practicing creative and I need to do that to survive. And so the people here are amazing. The connections are so easy. They just like happen magically. You need something, you don't even know what you're looking for. You go in Altspace and there they are. And so I've made some really wonderful connections and my team is growing. We're doing a lot of things. We have a lot of plans for next year. And I just love you all. So thank you for being here.
We love you. And thank you for the gifts that you have
Yeah.
given us. That is part of the magic here. It's
Cool.
not only what you do, but what you get and what you give back to us. It's really beautiful. Thank you.
yes, thank you so much for sharing that, Joanne.
Yes, thank you.
And Dargon, you're up next.
Hey, so I started here. I'm one of the COVID kids that came in after COVID had just started, got a headset so I'd have something to do while I was stuck at home so much. And it just really helped with that because I live alone. And so not being able to go out and socialize was going to be very difficult. But giving me the outlet here in a very real sense, it's called virtual reality, but still you definitely get that sense of presence when you have that headset on and are talking to people and so on. Just helped in an immense amount.
Mm, yeah.
Sure did.
A sense of being, a sense of presence and friends. It's beautiful, Dargon.
Yeah,
Thank
thank you so much, Dargon, for sharing that.
And again, thank you for everything you've given to our community. Every single one of you have given so much, but Dargon,
Yes.
you've gone
Absolutely.
above and beyond the call of duty, my friend.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, Matthew stands with trees. You're up next.
Alrighty. Well, little did I think, that when I bought a completely off the whim, completely random decision to buy a headset, that I would find myself where I am, 3 years later. So, I mean, I certainly didn't think that I would even be considering a career in the metaverse. 3 years ago. But after having the random decision to purchase a headset, come into Altspace, and the friends that I've made, relationships I've made, and the career that I've started, it's just incredible. And yeah, little did I know that I'd be doing this. If you had told me 3 years ago that I'd be doing this now, I would have told you you're full of shit. But there you go.
Well, for those that don't know, I want to brag on my friend, Stands with Trees, that he has gone from just being a passive, player dinking around here and seeing what was going on to now he's one of our senior trainers and he is the logistics manager for educators in VR. So many of the events that we run through Educators in VR would not happen without him, without Lance, without the rest of our team. Just amazing team. Karen Six, Karen, all the people here. But Matthew's been a huge part of it. So thank you very much. Wow.
Oh, thank you for sharing that, Matthew. That
Thank you.
and everybody who has raised their hand, and even if you haven't raised your hand, as you listen to everybody else share your stories, I know that you have your own going through your head, and I don't know, this is a beautiful community.
It is. It is. All right. Is there anyone else want to take a chance? We just have a couple minutes left. A few minutes left here for anybody else want to add their story. Darren, I know you're pointing at somebody else, but don't forget that you're part of this too.
That's right, Darren.
And Tomb Raider and Dave the Turner. Are everybody?
Here we go. All right. So, Darren, you're up.
Well, I can't speak as eloquently as everybody else has, but it has changed my life. So, yeah, here we
How?
go. Okay, good. Making friends like everybody else has been doing here. Able to challenge by world building, which I appreciate, and also learning a little bit of Unity, which I've been on in a class inside AltSpace, allow me to learn a little bit more, and as well as making friends and going to other platforms and stuff like that. But this is usually the ground area where everybody stays. So I say too much more than that. I can't be as elegant as everybody else can. But
Oh,
that's kinda
Darren,
Well,
you
well
do a
as
great
I can
job.
say.
That's
I have a question for you, Darren. So before you started world building in AltSpace, were you an artist in the
Mhm.
real world? Did you do anything creative in the real world?
Absolutely nothing. Never did that. My
Boy,
mother
that
was
was
an
an
art.
imagination lost for years.
Yeah.
My mother was an oil artist for 20 years. She taught me how to paint. I did a few paintings, I think about 3 or 4 in my lifetime, years and years ago. I have no idea how to paint anymore, but this is I just picked it up. Real buildings, what I do because I'm able to use I don't know, it's something that I was able to figure out. I like a challenge. I like to fix things and figure out things. So that curiosity helped me learn more and get better. I always have a how do I say? Part of my personality is I always like to get better at whatever I do. So
and
yeah,
you do. You always do.
Thank
thank
you.
you, thank you.
Thank
you.
you, Darren, for sharing that. Dave, Dave the Turner, you're up next.
Yeah, hi. I'd probably just second what everybody else is saying and just add on a couple things that uh, now that I'm not going places very much, I'm a stereo photographer, but I don't have really any place to shoot stereo pictures so much anymore. So I've kind of found a niche in AltSpace where I can contribute to the stereo imaging community and associate with people who enjoy what I enjoy. In the real world, I've been the reason I'm called Dave the Turner is I turn wooden bowls. So I've kind of neglected that in the last few years, last year, because of AltSpace. I'm not participating so much in my real world hobbies as I used to, but I'm really enjoying what I'm doing here, and enjoying the people, and having a community. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Dave. And you
Wow,
have
yeah.
created some beautiful worlds and experiences for us. So thank you for all of that.
And
For
thank you
sure, for
also for your
sure.
awesome tip about taking the faceplate off of your headset and still being able to put that on. That saved me this week big time. So thank you. It worked, and it worked genius. He has the tips are on our news and updates Discord. It's just brilliant. So didn't know you could do it. And you're right. The light from outside doesn't bother me at all, and I thought it would. So thank you.
You sort
Wow.
of tune it out. Yeah.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing. All right. Anyone else, Karen?
That's it on the host tools. We don't have anybody
Okay.
else.
Okay,
Karen?
I have
Yeah,
some.
okay.
I
Go
want to
for it.
call on Karen. What brought
Oh,
you here?
well, I bought a headset after our parents died. We lost our dad in December 2018 and our mom in June of 2019. And I'd been following VR. I like technology, so I've been just watching emerging technology. And I thought, well, let me just buy an Oculus Go and try it out. I can watch movies in it if I don't like it. It's not that expensive, compared to the other headsets. So I did, and I don't know, maybe a week after I got it, I stumbled onto I saw AltSpace, right? And I thought, there's no way I'm not going to do a social VR app. Absolutely not. And then I saw 101 and I thought, okay, well, I could just check out a 101, right? So I
Altspace VR
popped into the
101? Yeah.
101. Yep. Came to the first one, was blown away. Well, I couldn't absorb anything because I was too busy just being totally blown away. Went to the second one. And then the rest is history. Went to some EDVR events because I had been a teacher, met Laurel. Then I started to make friends in here. Rich came in, my brother, and started to make friends in here. And it just, the friendships that I've made in here are precious to me. And I better stop now. I can't. That's it.
Well, I want to add to
Laurel,
that list. I want to add to
how
that
about you?
list. Hold on. Talking about Karen here. The one of the things that Karen has always been passionate about is underprivileged and helping others, but she's also fluent in Spanish. And so when she loved the Educators in VR, or sorry, the AltSpace VR 101 so much that she and Gabriela got together and worked with Educators in VR and our whole AltSpace VR 101 team to present that event in Spanish so that people could learn about AltSpace VR in Spanish. I'm just so proud of you for doing that and all the other, gifts that you have also given us. But that one is one that was just a dream come true for me. And so I'm going to tell my
thank you,
story
Laurel.
later, but Marcia, so thank you,
No,
Karen.
I want to hear
How
your
about you?
story.
No, mine comes later. So, all right. Marcia, how about you?
Oh, well, mine started in 2019 and I was an entertainer. And when COVID hit, it shut down everything here in Las Vegas. And my guitar player said, well, what you need is VR. And I said, what's VR? And he said, you don't know what VR is? He was just a headset. You go in it and you experience things. I said, I've seen the headsets. I'm curious. So without even knowing what it was, I ordered one on Amazon and got it delivered. And then he walked me through setting it up. And of course, I've forgotten completely how I set it up and can't remember my PIN number. But I joined and then I was in big screen. And then some people in big screen took me to AltSpace. And oh my God, this has become my life, my love, it's my everything. My friends here in Vegas say, well, why don't you come back to the real world? I went, huh? This is the real world. These are real people. I said, how many times can you guys talk to somebody in Poland and Germany at the same time? So,
Yeah.
so that's, and I love it. And the people I've met here are just absolutely blow my mind at their talents, and just everything about it is absolutely incredible. Everything about it.
Wow. Thank you, Marcia. And it's yeah, so right. I can't tell you how many times I and our AltSpace VR 101 team said over and over and over and over and over again that you need to remember that there's a real person behind every avatar. And I think that that's an underlying part of what makes AltSpace VR so incredibly special, is because that's been a part of the mission from the very beginning, is that we recognize that we're all human beings, and it's written in the community standards as a part of everything. And so thank you everyone for this. This was just really beautiful. All right.
Wait a minute.
Okay,
What
so
brought you into VR?
no, that's coming at another time because we're out of time now. Don't worry.
Laurel, do we have time?
I tell it. No,
Dawn?
I tell it over and over again. All right. Nope. That's
Okay.
all for this week's news and updates. Thank you for joining us here every week and for celebrating the holidays with us. And over 4 years of news and updates every Saturday.
We do this for you
Yay.
for free, although we're looking for a raise of 0,
Yes,
to help
come on,
you
Mark.
be better informed. We are volunteers and community members, not AltSpace VR employees.
If you miss the show or you want to expand your experience, you can also watch the live stream on YouTube and Twitch every week, or catch up with past episodes and more about AltSpace VR events, project news and community activities, as well as in our news and updates Discord.
Well, it's the end of the year when we all reflect back and look ahead. We've so many amazing memories here in AltSpace VR, and we're celebrating the holidays with great friends that we've made here. The wonderful, wonderful friends that we've made here. We're celebrating everything with you guys. We love you.
And indeed. So don't forget, we will be back in January. And we are so grateful for all of you because of you, this is why we do this. It's your fault. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, thank you guys so much. And remember, please, during the holiday season and every day, you're not alone. Stand tough, stand up, and most of all, in these uncertain times, please be safe wherever you are in the world.
Yay!
Yay!
Thank you,
We love you
Marcia. Thank you,
guys.
Mark.
Happy
Thank you,
holidays.
Lorel, Marcia, everybody. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Oh, the weather outside